to do, so in the pictures I was showing you, when you don't move your lower body for rotation, you just sort of tug the hands in and the club gets stuck back behind you, and then when you try to move, it's just stuck back there. So we have to be able to rotate and keep the club in front of us on the way back. And so the only way it stays in front of us is if we don't disconnect with the hands. So we got to get your lower body moving more. So a good drill, I'm just standing on the board. You don't obviously have to have a board, but just so you can see the pressure. But if you throw the club in your center and you use your feet to help you rotate to the right, rotate to the left, and stand tall into the left foot. Rotate to the right, rotate to the left, stand tall into the left foot. So if I was on the ground, rotating right, rotating left. And you can see on the way back, when I'm in tilt, you have good posture. That keeps the club out in front of me on the way back, because that's the feeling we want to have. Okay, so how do we create rotation? You always create rotation in golf when you have good posture, which you do, but you have to use your feet and the legs. If you just try to do it by turning your hips, it won't work. So what you have to do is the feeling you want to have is you're going to have a feeling that you're pushing off your left foot. Okay, so my left, I'm pushing against the ground, which is pushing me this way, but my right foot is also pushing against the ground this way. Okay, so it's going to feel like I'm going to my heel on this foot. Okay, if I was pushing against the ground, I would push myself to the heel that way. My left foot's going to feel like I'm pushing myself that way. Okay, so those two things work together to do this. Okay, your left knee needs to come in and bend. When you push against the ground with your right leg is going to straighten. Okay, so from this view, you're going to see this leg, when I push myself to the right, is going to come in and it's bending. This leg is going to simultaneously be pushing against the ground. So I'm loading, you can see I'm loading to my heel, and that's pushing my right cheek back, and that's straightening my right leg because I'm pushing. Okay, that's how I get my hips, what we call turning. Okay, that's the only way you get your hips turning, is to use your feet against the ground. Okay, if my club is in the center of me and I do that, you can see how much rotation I have. There should be, from your view, a big gap between my legs if I'm doing it correctly. Okay, if I just tried to do this by turning my hips, you won't see a gap between my legs because that's all my hips can do. Okay, so rotation is created by using force against the ground with your feet, not by moving your hips. Your hips will follow your feet. Okay, so again, okay, that's two forces. That's this foot pushing me this way, and so I don't fall over that way. This foot's kind of like a brake, and it pushes this hip and that cheek back. Okay, and then the opposite will happen going down. It should be easy. If I get over here, now the opposite's going to happen. I'm going to get over to the left side. I'm going to push off of the right foot, and the left foot is going to push against the ground, and you'll see the opposite happen. This leg bends and comes in, and the left leg will straighten. Okay, I think the downswing you'll do pretty well if you get yourself moving correctly on the backswing. Hi, by the way.